The Berenstain Bears, that's so rude. Once you get into the good manners habit, you won't even have to think about it. It was one of those dreary mornings that sometimes come along, even in bear country. When Sister opened her eyes and looked at the bedroom window, the scene that met her gaze was not a pleasant one. It was gray and cold and dismal. A steady sleet was falling. A squirrel sitting on the branch beside her window was actually shivering. Yuck, said Sister gloomily. In the upper bunk bed, Brother sat up and stretched. Good morning, sis, he said brightly. What's good about it? Sister growled. She swung her legs out from the bed with a groan. What's the matter with you? Asked Brother. Did you get up on the wrong side of the bed? How can I get up on the wrong side of the bed? The bed is against the wall. If I got on the wrong side, I'd smash my face into the wall. It's just a figure of speech. Well, it's dumb, Sister said rudely. Sheesh, what a grouch, said Brother as Sister pushed past him into the bathroom. Later downstairs at breakfast, Sister's grouchy rudeness continued. Why aren't there any raisins in my oatmeal, she demanded. You know I like raisins in my oatmeal. We're out of raisins, said Mama, keeping her temper. Why don't you get some more? That is so rude, Sister. Mind your manners, please. But I like raisins in my oatmeal. I'm just being honest about it. There's a big difference between being honest and being downright rude. Well then, how should I ask for raisins? You could say, may I have some raisins, please? But we don't have any raisins. You forgot them. That's true, said Mama, gritting her teeth. But when I told you that, you could have said, maybe we can get some the next time we're at the store. That's silly, muttered Sister. You're silly, said Brother, fed up with Sister's attitude. My goodness, I've never heard such rudeness. What's the matter with you two? She got out of bed on the wrong side. Yeah, Sister said, sticking out her tongue, and smashed my face into the wall. Smash! Yelled Honey, and threw her oatmeal on the floor. Honey, cried Mama, whisking her out of her seat. Now, things really went downhill. Brother and Sister went nose to nose. Names like Furball and Possum Face filled the air. Honey crawled under the table, scooping up oatmeal. Papa stood in the middle of the room shouting, Manners, please. Mama surveyed the scene in dismay. Finally, she went over to the sideboard and grabbed the dinner bell. Clang, 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 clang went the dinner bell as Mama shook it. It sounded like a 4-alarm fire. Everyone quieted down and stared at Mama. That will be quite enough. I've never seen such a disgraceful display of rudeness in my entire life. I'm actually embarrassed to be related to any of you. I'd like to add in this moment that what Mama means is that she's embarrassed of their behavior. She loves her kids, and just like Papa does, and she's not embarrassed to belong to them. That's just something we say, and it's not a very sensitive or thoughtful thing to say. And I want you to know that your mom and your dad, being me, I will never, I'm sure your mom would say the exact same thing, we will never be embarrassed to be related to you. We love you very much. Okay. But Mama, protested Sister, it's a really rotten day. And I felt grumpy, and that's no excuse. It's easy to be pleasant and have good manners when the sun is shining and everything's going well. The challenge is to be polite and pleasant to everyone when things are going badly. Yeah, goof brain, said Brother. Brother, said Mama. But she started it, and you continued it. Rude is rude, start to finish. I think that's a great point. Just because somebody provokes us doesn't mean that we can just do whatever we want. Everything isn't justified just because somebody started it. Sister began to feel guilty about her behavior. I'm sorry for calling you a possum face. And Brother felt bad too. I'm sorry I called you a furball. Furball, shouted Honey, laughing. See what a bad example you set for your little sister, said Papa, trying not to laugh himself. I know what, he added. Let's go all out for a walk to clear the air. But it's sleeting. Pooh, said Papa, putting on his hat. What's a little sleet to a bear? So the whole family bundled up and went out for a walk in the nice, fresh sleet. Ooh, they're tough. Of course they are. Giant bears. Whoa, said Sister, as she got to the bottom of the steps. Slippery. At that moment, her feet went out from under her, and she sat down hard on the sleety ground. She fell on her butt. Brother opened his mouth to laugh, but then closed it. Laughing when someone gets hurt is not a very nice thing to do. In fact, it's downright rude. Brother helped Sister to her feet. Are you okay? He asked. I guess so, she said, rubbing her bottom. Just a little hurt in my pride. She began to chuckle. The more she thought about how she must have looked slipping on the sleet, the more she laughed. Brother and Honey began to laugh, too. Mama and Papa looked at each other and shrugged and started to laugh as well. Soon the whole family was standing in the falling sleet and holding their sides, laughing. As their laughter died away, the sleet stopped, and the sun broke through the clouds. Beads of sleet on the trees sparkled like diamonds. Isn't it lovely? Said Mama. Shall we continue our walk? Asked Papa. After you, Sister. Why, thank you, brother. And off they went into the crystal wintry scene. Guys, I'd like to know your thoughts. If you remember the grumpy monkey and how we talked about sometimes if you're just upset, it's okay to be upset. And also in this book, how they talked about how it's not always about you, and how it's easy to be polite when everything's going your way, but how when it's not going your way, can you still be loving and kind then? And I think there's two very good ideas that are very good in unison, but they sound almost like they don't agree. I think that when we're hurting, it's easy to act out. But the thing to do is to try to be honest and say, hey, I'm hurting or I'm bothered right now. And, get some alone time until you can freshen up and get your mind right and get your normal thoughts back in order. So you don't have like a license to just be grumpy and mean to everybody. But at the same time, you still need to have room to feel what you're feeling. I think both of those thoughts are very valid. I love you guys. I miss you.